Okay, that's that. We'll talk one more thing and then we should be done. Okay, so this is what we've seen so far is when the manipulator is not in contact with a object. Okay, so when it's not in contact with an object, it's basically tracking in the air, right? So that's sort of the easier thing. Now, once it makes contact, let's say here in this case, it's making contact with the wall. What happens is the equations of motion have to be modified. So the equations of motion here, when you have contact, has mcg. This is missing a q double dot. But then because of there is a force and moment at contact, let's assume that there are both force and moments. So let's say there's a contact force and a contact moment. So there's a force and moment. You need to modify this. You need to add the effect of the force. And you do it through the Jacobian of the end effector transpose Fm equals tau. So this is the Jacobian at the tip. Fm as the force moment at tip due to contact. Okay. Now, not all of these are active. Some of them might be active. So there might be a force. For example, if there's a wall like this, just up, so it's a ceiling, and then the manipulator was like so, then the only force here is probably Fz is not equal to 0. Other forces, other Mf could be 0. Okay, so it just matters which force is 0 is the one which needs to come there. Not all forces need to show up there. Okay, so that is manipulator contact. Now, let's look at how to do force control. Okay, so what you do here is, here the equations are essentially the same as before. We have mq, actually you should write this as mq ur double dot. So I basically inverted the mass c and g, but then I also put in Jacobian transpose fr mr. Okay, where fr mr is the reference. Whatever you want to show up at the tip is what you put. And I'll show you code which does this. So it's the reference at the tip. So note here, if some of these forces moments are 0, then just replace those with 0. So let's say that mx is 0, just put that equal to 0 in the equation. Okay, now this is when there is no sensor. Usually when you have this manipulator, there's no sensor at the tip. But sometimes you may have a force moment sensor that can measure end effector force. Now, this sensor is usually not mounted at the tip because it's very difficult to mount a sensor at the tip, but usually it's put in the last link. So it's usually put at the last joint, and you can use that force sensor to measure the force and the moment at the tip. So in this case, what you do is you modify this so that there's error. This is the error in force, the error in moment. And if this works fine, then this force will be tracked perfectly. Fr will be F, Mr will be M, and you'll be all good. So this is force control. Now there's this piece, impedance control, is basically same as here we're going to talk exactly what we did. Cartesian control so this is basically the same as what I talked about in task space control. It's exactly this. So maybe I should put task space. It's exactly this, but in a different way. Task space. So this is showing you how you can do task-based control in a totally different way. So first of all, let's talk a little bit about impedances. So impedance is nothing but the stiffness. It's basically force divided by x. So if you have a wall and if you apply a force and there's a spring constant k, then the ratio between force and x is basically the spring constant. Okay, the key thing to remember is x is the input. Okay, in task space control, input is basically the reference angle or the reference position of the tip, and f is the output. So it achieves Cartesian space control in a soft way as follows. So what is done here is we have the same equation we had earlier, Fe and Me, but we replace this Fe and Me with Kp times error in position, Kv times error in velocity. So you see this, it's basically you're putting a force at the tip, at the end effector, which basically emulates a spring. Okay, so the net result is that if you have perfect tracking, then xr will be xs, quat r and quat s. So what it does is essentially this: if you have a manipulator, and then there is, you need it to track this position, xr, and this is x. I'm just showing it for position. Then what it does essentially is it puts a spring between the two. And Kp, Kd, delta x dot. So it puts a spring between the reference and the end effector and sort of tries to reduce that delta x, which is the difference between x and xr, to be 0. If you make that 0, then this end effector will sit right at xr, and that's how it achieves impedance control. So why is this used? Well, if you want the robot to interact with a person, you want to have this kind of a system where there is some kind of a spring constant so that it doesn't hurt a person when it's interacting with a person. So it's normally used with human robot interaction. Okay, the last thing which we'll do before I show you code is hybrid force and position control. This is when, imagine an end effector, it's trying to draw something on the xy plane, or rather apply a force in the xy plane. So what it's trying to do is it's trying to apply a force in certain direction. So Fz, so maybe it's polishing the surface in that 8 pattern. So it needs to apply a force, but it also needs to move in the xy plane. Right? It needs to move. So this is basically hybrid control, where it's trying to do both. It's trying to apply a force, and it's also trying to move. So in some directions, it wants to apply a force, some directions it wants to move. So in this case, what you do is you just take the same equation, Jacobian, the first two directions here, there is x direction and y direction, you apply that impedance control. So it's doing position control. And in the z direction, you do force control. So position and force control is hybrid control. Okay, so that's the last thing. To end it up, I'll just show you how all these 3 things are done in code. Okay, there are 3 files which I'm going to show you. They use the same, the users, you have to look at the controller to see what they do. So let's talk about, this is position control. So look at the controller file, and I'll be clear what I'm trying to do here in just a bit. Okay, so here what I'm doing is I'm doing Cartesian control, exactly the same one I talked about earlier, but the scenario is changed. Here I'm trying to apply a force in the, not force, but I'm trying to move the green end effector along the horizontal, but then there is this black obstacle in the way. Okay, so there is some tracking error because of which that green end effector is going to interact with the obstacle, and it's going to create, as you can see here, this noisy term. The velocity was noisy, right? So that's what happens when you do trajectory tracking control. It's basically going to cause that vibration. Just increase the time here. I'm running out of time. Okay, so it's going to increase vibrations, and then that will affect the ability to track. Now here's the same thing, but using impedance control. So what I'm doing here is, you see that there's a force. So here I'm using Jacobian times Kp dx Kv dv. So this is impedance control now. Okay, and I'm trying to track the same profile, which is going back and forth, but in a soft manner because there is this wall, and I don't want to sort of apply force. I don't want to apply a tracking controller there. I want to make a soft contact with the wall. So what you'll see is that it looks essentially the same as before, but if you look at the plots, it's much more smoother. So you can see it's smoother. Initially it's bump, but it's smooth. The velocity is smooth, and the position also is smooth. The final thing I'll show you is hybrid force and position control. In this case, what I'm trying to do is, it's the same example, but I'm trying to apply, in the y direction, I'm applying a constant force of 20. So y direction is upward direction. In x direction and the moment direction, that is in z plane, I'm trying to do impedance control. Okay, and this is without any force feedback. So here it's going to look essentially the same, but I'm trying to apply a force because maybe I'm trying to polish that surface, and that force needs to be 20. So once it stops, you'll see that it's also a little bit noisy. Here you can see it's much more noisy. And there's no way to verify that force is actually 20 unless you have a sensor. So in the absence of feedback, you really can't ensure it's going to be 20. It's just going to try to press with an estimated force of 20. Okay, so that is hybrid force position control. So